Hey guys, today we are going to talk about nomenclature conventions. Why do camelCase, PascalCase, snakeCase, and kebab-case exist? At first, we need to understand the role of space in programming languages. Spaces have syntactic functions. They separate tokens like keywords, as an example, if identifiers like total calculation. We can name some variable as total calculation, and operators like equal, numbers, and etc. Thus, they help the compiler or interpreter understand what is what. As an example, here, my variable equal to 10. The interpreter will think that my is an identifier, variable name, and variable is something else. It might look like a new variable, a function, etc. It doesn't understand that you are trying to form the name my variable because the space separates the two things. The correct example we bring to here is the second above. Total equal to price more tax. Here, spaces are helping to separate the elements of the expression. Total is a variable, equal is assignment operator, price is a variable, more is an additional operator, and tax is a variable. And here we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 tokens. Identifiers, they can't have space between the words that form them. Like when I want to write my variable as a variable, for example, I can't write my and variable. I have to join these two words using upper and lower case, or using underscore or hyphen. And finally, we bring nomenclature conventions. They promote readability, standardization as best practice, and collaboration. We have two examples here: without naming convention and with naming convention. Without naming convention is a code that is a little dirty and is difficult to read because don't have a standardization. Like name is a variable and person age either, but name is totally written with uppercase, and person age only the first letter is in uppercase. In the other hand, we have a code that is clean and in a nomenclature convention, like the variables are in lowercase. The first nomenclature convention we are bringing today is camelCase. It starts with a lowercase letter and each new word with an uppercase initial. Like in my variable, mar starts with a lowercase letter and variable with an uppercase initial. And camelCase is widely used in JavaScript and Java. And when to use? When we are going to create variables and functions. In the Pascal case, each word starts with an uppercase letter. For example, my class. The letter M is in uppercase In class, the C letter is in uppercase. And the name comes from the Pascal language. When to use? When we want to create class names and constructors. Furthermore, we have snake case. And in this nomenclature convention, the words are separated by underscores. For example, my variable. My underscore variable. And the origin is very common in Python, C language, and databases. When to use? When we want to create variables, functions in Python, and file names. We also have a screaming snake case. In this case, we use uppercase words separated by underscores. And when to use? When we want to create constants in many languages. Finally, kebab-case. In kebab-case, words are separated by hyphens. We can use in URLs and files, for example, mypage.html. We also have a screaming kebab case, that is when we use uppercase words separated by hyphens. And we can use in configurations, .env files, some shell scripts. As final tips, you have to follow the convention of the language or framework you are using, because the community have standardizations for each language. So when I want to write a code in Python, I'm Google for nomenclature convention Python and read what the community has defined as the standard to be followed to write codes in that languages. So general rules for identifiers. At first, must start with a letter or underscore. Cannot start with a number. 2. Can contain letters, numbers, and underscores. For example, user underscore name 1. 3. Cannot contain spaces, as my space variable. 4. Cannot have special symbols like exclamation symbol or etc. And 5. Cannot have the same name as reserved language keywords. And each language has its own language keywords that are reserved, like if or for, class, and return. So it depends on the language you're using. That's all for today. And I would like to thank you for watching. Bye!